Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I have one announcement to make before we get started. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of you, but that's...
Hey, I was lined up to drive, Bill.
Well, Lea Abbott's up there, I'll tell you what. He's flying a 1910 Curtiss Pusher replica. Probably one of the oldest airplanes still in existence today. Lea Abbott has logged over 30,000 hours flying time. He's 78 years old, a retired airline captain. Lea, of course, says he weighs 142 pounds. If he weighed 160, he couldn't get this crate off the ground. Lea's flying machine is a replica 1910 Curtiss Pusher that first took to the air barely 6 years after the Wright brothers' epic flight, December 17, 1903, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. He began his flying career in 1929, and a short time later flew with the Barnstorming Air Show, doing stunt flying and parachute jumps. 3 years before Lindbergh's flight across the Atlantic, Lea was a test pilot for the government certification program of the M1 Ryan airplane. In 1934, Abbott became an airline pilot and was a Braniff airline captain for 28 years before retiring in 1962. A very colorful figure, Abbott's showmanship instincts prompted him to dress like a 1910 pilot. His attire includes a leather flying helmet and goggles, button shoes, puttees, knickers with suspenders, the gauntlet gloves, and of course the familiar white scarf. Well, here comes Lea Abbott. He's got to come down the fly line again, so let's wave at him as he comes up and down the fly line. The gentleman from Highland Park, Texas, in the 1910 Curtiss Pusher.
I'm Lea Abbott of Dallas, Texas. I'm sitting in the seat of my 1910 Curtiss Pusher airplane, which is probably the oldest looking airplane that's being normally flown around Dallas. This airplane has a top speed of maybe 60 miles an hour and a stall speed of about 45. Has a 90 horsepower engine. Is rather difficult to fly. It's better now than it was originally when I had a 65 horse engine in it. This 90 horse engine means it flies well enough that where I was able to fly it at Reno a year ago, which is almost a mile high. It gets off in normal air at about a 300-foot run and takes about that long to land. Climbing capability is roughly about 300 feet a minute in good air. The first airplane I saw was shipped in boxcar, was in crates, was unloaded out inside a racetrack. The people who came to see it fly came in automobiles and buggies. This was in June of 1914, before World War I, and the aircraft was very similar to this. The fellow who flew it finally got off the ground and promptly busted it up. And from that time on, I've been interested in aircraft. Now, I soloed in 1929 and have been flying since then. In 1930, I made the Nebraska Air Tour, and then with the same barnstorming outfit came to Texas and wound up in Austin at about Christmas time in 1930. At Smithville, Texas, late in December, we were making an air show, and I'd been doing a fair bit of upside-down flying, spinning, looping, and that kind of stuff, and the wing broke while I was upside down. One wing fluttered off down like a maple seed, the other one folded back along the fuselage of the airplane, and luckily I had on a shooter. I wouldn't be here talking to you today. This is a real fine air show. I had no idea there were going to be this many airplanes and this nice a show.
And Lea Abbott coming down the flight line once again, so everybody in the audience can see this replica 1910 Curtiss Pusher, the beginning of aviation.